So I started installing with cellulose. Most people typically ask for or want fiberglass as it's a common insulation. After I took over the company, I pretty much expanded on greener products, renewable products, more energy efficient products. Everything is better than fiberglass that's out there on the market, such as Havelock wool, such as Gutex, such as cellulose, and even mineral wool. So I started with mineral wool, fiberglass, cellulose, and then I learned and expanded to Havelock wool and Gutex. And now I only insulate with cellulose, Gutex, and sheep's wool or Havelock wool. So most of my work is in the Bay Area, predominantly in Marin County. However, I get a lot of calls and I travel a lot for work and for installs, all the way down to LA, up to Redding, and even all the way over to Lake Tahoe, and in Reno, Nevada as well. And the reason why I travel so much for installs is because I get a lot of calls from people that can't find other installers that want to install the product that the homeowner or the designer wants installed in the house. Most installers install fiberglass or spray foam, but they can't find installers that will actually install renewable products or sustainable products. And thus I actually travel a lot for jobs because I'm in high demand, because people want better products in their house. And I'm one of the few people that is willing to and wants to put better products in most people's houses. Because they're toxic. We shouldn't be breathing those products. Fiberglass has micro glass particles that if you breathe the glass particles, they get inside your lungs and that causes cancer, and they never leave your lungs until the day you die. Spray foam I don't like because it's an off-gassing chemical that will off-gas from the day it was installed till the day that you die and beyond. So the three things that I like about Havelock wool the most are that it manages moisture better than any other insulation product on the market. It is 100% sustainable, and it does not break down over time. It will last 50+ years in your house. There are a lot of clients that I deal with that don't know that there's options for insulation. They think that the options are fiberglass and spray foam. And they only know that because they hear it on TV or the radio. They don't know that there's, better, healthier products to try to use. And I spend quite a bit of time educating clients because I want to make a healthy environment for them and their family to live in. I don't want to just make a buck and slam some insulation in their house real quick. I do air sealing on pretty much every one of my jobs, and I recommend it. It's the biggest return on your investment as far as keeping the healthy air in your house and the temperature air in your house that you want, and so it doesn't pull air from the crawl space or from the attic. Or there's all these openings and cracks that are not sealed, like the pipe penetrations, electrical penetrations, and even the top plates on each individual interior wall. So we seal those with our elastomeric products. We keep the insulation doing its job of keeping the heat and cold in the house when you want it, and not getting dirty air or bad air from outside of your house, which would be in your attic or your crawl space, which is considered outside of your house. It's not actually in your house. So one huge thing that I like about California is that they've implemented a QII program, which is a quality insulation installation. And you have somebody that comes out that actually inspects the installation of the insulation, which I think is a huge necessity, because there's a lot of people in the industry that do not do a quality insulation job. They leave gaps and they don't make sure that the insulation is in the bays or in the attic adequately enough to do the justice that they're supposed to be doing. If you have a poorly installed bat in a wall, you're more than likely losing at least 25%, if not more, of your insulation value, just because you have a corner that's rounded, or if you have a wire that's running through it so the insulation doesn't fit around it. That's why I prefer blown-in insulation. Blown-in can fill all the cavities behind pipes, in front of pipes, behind electrical boxes, in front and behind electrical wires as well. QII is very good because they do inspect that stuff and they make sure that the installation is done properly, which is necessary in our industry. So I've seen a lot of different products used that I have to fix or adjust or correct or improve. A lot of plastics are used underneath the house. They're usually thrown down there haphazardly. The problem with that is if you have the plastic or the vapor retarder in the crawl space and you have a weak point, then all the moisture is going to pool up to that one weak point because it goes the path of least resistance. So you have to make sure and pretty much tape all the seams, and you're supposed to also connect and tape the moisture barrier to the stem walls to keep the moisture in the ground where it's supposed to be. That way it'll allow less mold, less mildew, less moisture in your crawl space. 3 things that most people should know about insulation, traditional insulation, is that they're designed to be installed extremely fast as possible, and as cheaply as possible. They are very toxic, they have a lot of bad chemicals in them, and they degrade over time. Degrading over time essentially means you're not getting the R value that you actually are paying for a prolonged amount of time.